And this year's inclusion would have been like, The Return of the King or The Departed of the Hobbit movies, where you give an award to a previous movie which really deserved the award that the same director got later for a different movie that was not as deserving. Because as much as I am a Lord of the Rings fan, and I really am, and I love Peter Jackson usually, and I even like King Kong, everything that I hated about An Unexpected Journey was here in this movie, but now they have a love triangle for some mind-boggling reason. Because feminism equals adding extraneous characters, most of whose screen time is taken up by a love triangle. And I've listened to people who like the movie, and on some level I get it. I say this as I really did like King Kong. But at its heart, long as it was, King Kong was a really simple story. The Hobbit is diluted and flabby and scattered, and it's aimless, and there are no hobbits in it. The good things are good, and they're just poisoned by going on way too long. If you like the Jacksonian excess, I understand enjoying these movies, but to me they were long and they're boring and I wanted it to end, and oh god, it just doggedly refused to end, and I hate it. Okay, number 8. Star Trek Into Darkness. Boy, I'd like to pick the polarizing ones. Okay, so this one, since the 2000 movie, while I didn't really like it, it was fine. It was okay for what it was, even if what it was not for me. So the sequel is like, let's do this exact same thing again, only let's make it more derivative of older, better movies. Like in the last one, Captain Kirk has to bully his way into the captain's chair with lots of screaming and punching, and this way he must bully his way back into the captain's chair with lots of screaming and punching. And last time Spock was all unemotional and must learn to be emotional with lots of screaming and punching, so in this movie he goes from unemotional to screaming and punching. So what I'm saying is the same movie.
Now, shall we begin?
And since we live in a world where franchises are apparently no longer allowed to tell original stories anymore, let's just do the Wrath of Khan again, and let's do every element of it. We've even bothered to include worse, and let's have, some naked lady, and let's have Khan put his frozen crucible into, 72 bombs, which are supposed to be fired at a planet to kill Khan. All 72 of them, one guy. And he's going to get his crew back, and that's why he bombed London, and he wants revenge on Admiral Khan! Yeah, there are 3 Benedict Cumberbatch movies on this one list. Yeah, I really don't want to hate you, Mr. Batch, but you're making this kind of an uphill slog. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Number 7. Epic. So this here was a wash, as usual, in children's movies, because as we have established, no effort required, because hey, it's for kids are stupid. But this movie, well, it's basically Ferngully with none of that unpalatable early 90s ecological political crap that gets in people's craws for some reason. So basically it's Ferngully with its balls cut off, and more celebrities. Most teeth-grinding among said celebrities is Aziz Ansari as the worst of all sidekicks. What's going on, baby girl? Talking still. Actually, I'm a slug. No shell over here, baby. And as is mandated by the Children's Film Council, the annoying slug sidekicks cling to the movie like sluggy plot tumors. I think they rationalize this by saying that the slugs need to keep the MacGuffin moist. Yeah. Even more bewildering is the casting of Christoph Waltz as the hulking tiny bad guy Mandrake, who with his delicate German lilting tenor is just like, hey, let's cast a guy who won an Oscar playing an evil guy a few years back. It'll be perfect. The kids will love it.
I am going to destroy the forest.
Yeah, at least with Tim Curry's hexes, he's got this deep, dramatic, evil plays, and they put some modulation on the voice. Tim Curry is basically a living cartoon as a person. He works perfectly as an evil anthropomorphized pollution cloud. Christoph Waltz is just way too nuanced an actor to play this kind of bad guy.
You just can't stop the rods.
Ugly says what? What? The thing about Ferngully, and I really do think we are too hard on it by virtue of it coming out too close to the root of all evil, Captain Planet, is at least it's about something. At least there are themes of responsibility to the Earth and maturity and reasons why the humans are dangerous in this movie. And I cannot help but compare the two movies because they are basically the same movie. Beyonce plays the magic character, and the main fairy and shrunken human are gender switched, but they're there and more boring, and I will take a million rapping Robin Williams stats over Aziz Ansari Slug any day.
Yes! 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 That's it. That's it. He's about to punching you in the jacket.
No shell over her, but
You know, next thing you know, it'll be like